Hi, welcome at Dutcham, welcome at the Orange Talks. My name is Peggy, and I'm in the studio again with my colleague Karin. Hi, Karin.
Hey Peggy, glad to be back.
Here we are again, and again for a COP Connected, a talk on the COP30 and beyond, right, Karin?
It's going to be amazing today because we have in the studio, I'm going to give a spoiler already, we have another cutting. So we have an interview or an episode with two cuttings. I think
Oh my God.
fine.
But it's indeed a Karin from a top Dutch company. They say that they're an engineering firm, but let me tell you that they are much more than just an engineering firm. They really are the global partner when it comes down on working with businesses, with cities and industries to work on their transformative projects. They are shaping places into a better place, more greener, more livable, and more smarter. And we have a very smart lady with us today on the studio. She's for more than 21 years at Arcadis, and she's 4 years the country manager for Brazil and also the Resilience Business Area Director. Karin, welcome in our studio.
Hi Peggy, hi Karin. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Well, first of all, I think, Karin, you need to explain a little bit what is a Resilience Business Area Director?
Of course, Peggy. We are organized as a company in 4 business areas, right? Mobility, that is all related to logistics, transportation, smart transportation. Places, that is related to building and the surrounding areas of it. We have intelligence, that is all about our digital solutions that we serve our clients with that. And the resilience business. And what is the resilience business? It's all about the solutions that we have to serve our clients in environmental services, water services, energy transition, water optimization. So it's all related to the need that we have to support our clients to transform their business in more sustainable ones.
And improving at the end of the day the lives of a lot of people.
Yes.
Karin, but indeed make cities, make places, make businesses smarter, greener, more livable. It looks like a big challenge to me, right? How does that translate here, for example, in Brazil? How are these challenges here in Brazil?
Yeah, I think that globally we've been seeing along the last years the changes that we are facing with climate, right? So we have all these intense and more frequent events, um, droughts or very important storms, and they are affecting both the countryside and the cities. So when we are talking about cities, we are talking how can we make them more resilient, right? To face all these challenges. And when we talk about sustainable and resilient cities, we have a lot of components. We have better and more resilient infrastructure, what we call the green infrastructure or the blue infrastructure. A lot of it is related to nature-based solutions to allow the city to be more permeable, to face all these challenges and be ready to continue working, right? We have all the social side because we don't have a sustainable or resilient city if we don't share all the value that we have with the society, with the community. And of course, smarter because we have a lot of data available today. It's necessary more and more to have predictable decisions and to learn from the best. We have to be prepared to do differently because if we do the same, we will have the same results. And what we are facing today is completely new. So this is how Arcadis is working with our clients and even providing and discussing with the government to help them on how to look at Brazil and to have more resilient cities. We will have news during COP, right? I cannot say today, but we will have. We are supporting them in that area. In Brazil, we already have some experiences here. A lot of them are related to master plan of cities. When we work for big infrastructure clients in general, one of the conditioning that they have in their licenses is to support small cities to have their master plans, right? So we are bringing to these master plans already all the vision around how climate change and raising water can impact
anticipate then, right?
Yeah,
Anticipate
exactly.
a little bit on the longer term. Because I think indeed making cities smarter. I think we're getting smarter. We have much more innovations and technologies these days. But to get them greener, I think it's still a bit of a challenge, right, Karen?
Yes, indeed, right? Because we have to create a space to allow the city to breathe, right? I can tell you a very interesting project that we have as a company. It's related to the south region of Manhattan Island in New York. That regarding all the studies that we have, it would disappear in some years because of the raising level of the water. And then we are working then to provide a new urban project that is considering some nature-based solutions that are, of course, to guarantee that the water will be absorbed, yes, by the land. We have some obstacles created also by the landscape that we are creating. We have the social community also supported to design very nice spaces there. But it's all, of course, added with some infrastructure solutions as well, because when the water comes with a very high violence, it is important also to create physical barriers and not just the green spaces. But it's already happened here in Brazil, but also we can see a lot of very interesting projects around the globe.
That's great, Karin. I was going to ask you if you can give a few examples of projects here in Brazil, either nature-based solutions, as you were speaking about Manhattan. I immediately thought of Porto Alegre, and after the flood, how we saw in the news the need to expand the wetlands and areas to absorb the water and so on. But not only Porto Alegre, can you give another example of projects that are going on in Brazil in this, let's say, rethinking the city? And especially also, I thought it was very interesting how you mentioned the smaller cities who normally don't have very bold city plans, and Arcadis is helping in that sense as well. What can you tell us about examples here?
Yes, I think that here in Brazil, we have some interesting examples, but most of them are still in the planning side, right? Because last Friday, I was in an event discussing about resilient infrastructure and cities, and the government, some guys from the government were there representing cities or representing the federal government. And one of the key issues is financing or insurance as well, right? Because if they are still not prepared, how they will face when these challenges come. So insurance today in the climate change arena is something very challenging, right? Because
they don't know exactly the impact immediately. They don't have that experience.
Yeah, right. And one of the things that is very interesting, and I was talking about it, is that we see the insurance sector as a very good ally in that sense. Because, of course, for their survival, they will have to guarantee that they have knowledge, that all these projects look at the area they are implemented, evaluating risks, and then the price of the insurance will be related to that, or decisions regarding investments can be made in more or safer areas than today. So here we have more experiences, let's say, in this planning side, in master plans, but we have some other examples that are very interesting. And then I can mention a project. It's not about city, it's about a forest, right? How to preserve forests.
A big debate as well, especially what we have here in Brazil, right? For preservation.
Yeah, and one of the things that we say is what we call how to have the floresta em pé, right? The standing forest. And this is all about managing the forest in a sustainable way. So we are supporting ICA, that is the Institute of Agriculture, and other partners to have a very beautiful project that is related to cacao, cocoa forest in areas that were deforested in Amazon region and also in Mata Atlântica. Right? So we are supporting these families that are surviving from cocoa plantation to have a more sustainable agriculture. So we are preserving the area because they can manage the forest better. And we are also providing revenue to these families and impacting a lot of other sectors and services that are surrounding this area. So when we talk about resilience, when we talk about sustainability, I also like to bring examples where people are
social impact, right? Because very often we think indeed about sustainability, but there is the offside that indeed here Brazil has other challenges, right? We don't have this kind of the same set of challenges that we have in Europe, because Arcadis is a Dutch company that are strong in, for example, water management, in all kind of other domains, but we don't have the same reality here in Brazil. Let me bring it also a little bit to the big event, the COP30 coming up, Karin. I mean, everybody's talking about that. I think that Arcadis is fully involved in the COP as well, not only going there, but I think there is some really an amazing project which is called Parque de Cidade. This goes beyond the COP event. It's not just a place for the COP to take place, to do the event, but it goes beyond that. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about this, because this is official yet, or that's of the project you cannot talk about.
Yeah, we are very proud to be really part of these projects. We are designing two very important projects in Belém. The Parque da Cidade, as you mentioned, and also Porto do Futuro, right? So it's about the legacy, and this is the very nice part, right? When we have these big events, we have the opportunity really not just to have a very nice event, but also leaving a legacy for this population. And Belém is already receiving the Park of the City. It was open for one day, and it was wonderful to see people using this space, right? And then we were really concerned about bringing solutions that were mixing sustainable solutions, climate change, so more sustainable materials as well, raw materials that were used during construction, and also having all the possibilities for this community to have a very democratic space. We also used some sustainable solutions such as wetlands, right? So this is also very interesting because it's a solution that is not so used in Brazil. We have a lot of them used in the Netherlands. So our Dutch heritage.
This has been documented here, but it's good, right?
Yes, yes. So this is what we talk about the social legacy, right? So
it's not just for the COP, but it will contribute to millions of lives over
and the fair transition. That is also another very important aspect when we are talking currently about all these interventions in cities and regarding the communities, right? We have to really have the solution that is a win-win. It's good for everyone.
This is great, Karin. What are some of your expectations with this event besides the legacy? Do you think also we can get a bit more of the private sector involved in understanding? Because COP30 or every COP is a yearly event, but then the real work starts, after and goes on throughout the years. How can this event specifically, involve more people, especially the private sector, and what are maybe some other expectations you have?
It's the event. It's the COP of the action, right?
Yes, exactly. I think that this is key, right? When we talked some years ago about sustainability, everyone thought it was a government thing, right? But government can define policies and things that can regulate this space. But of course, private sector is a very important part of our society. If we don't commit ourselves with these goals and with all the action that is needed to really guarantee that we are controlling the global heat of the planet, it will be very hard to achieve the targets that we have, right? So I think, and I see more and more the private sector assuming the leadership and the position, engaging.
Yes, and you see a lot of these partnerships as well. I think Arcadis is also one of the companies that make these bridges, right, between the companies, between the government side.
Yeah.
we don't, unfortunately, we don't see so many Dutch companies so far coming here, for example, to Brazil. Isn't that a bit of a pity? Don't we have opportunities here for more Dutch companies, you think?
Yes, I think that we have a lot of opportunities in Brazil, right? And I am very proud to say that we are one of the biggest consultancy companies in Brazil. So we have sustainability in our core, we have innovation in our core. Brazilians are very special, right? We are very creative, probably to face all the challenges that we have, very flexible as well to adapt. So I can mention that in Brazil, we have a team of 80 people providing digital solutions globally for Arcadis and for our clients as well. So I think that we have a lot of very good things happening in Brazil. We have to show the globe that sometimes only receive information about deforestation in the Amazon region and all the problems that we have as a country. But I think it will be a very good opportunity to show all the value that we have, all the good things that we are doing, right?
This is probably the occasion for the COP30 as well, to showcase a little bit, right? What else we have in Brazil, besides of the negative signs that we very often see. But of course, there are some obstacles here. We always talk about Brazil might be the green economy of the world, the leader as a green economy. What is missing? You're Brazilian. What is missing, Karen? What do you see as the biggest obstacle? Is it a lack of innovation? Is it money? Is it investments? Is it probably a lot? I don't know.
The $1,000,000 question, huh? What's missing?
Yeah, I think that you mentioned some of them. Indeed, we still have a lot of infrastructure bottlenecks that we have really to solve to guarantee that we will be competitive. We have all these trust piece, right? When we talk about being a green economy and we have still a lot of problems in terms of deforestation, it is something that is missed. Well, they say we are missing something. Do we really believe that Brazil can represent that? We also have the green finance need, because all these investments, when we see the need of investments that we have, if we don't have any kind of benefit coming from the finance sector or from governments, it will be very hard. In the other hand, when we talk about investing in greener or more resilient infrastructure, we could say that the relation is 1:7 or 1:10. If we invest now, we will guarantee that we won't have the problem to, when we face a disaster, to invest 7 or 10 times more. This is the relation that we see currently, right? But it's necessary to have more greener investment to really boost the investments here. We still have some bureaucracy in our country that we also have to guarantee that is not creating barriers for these long-term investments. So I think it's a mix of and innovation, right? We are a country that historically we have a lot of natural resources that is very good for Brazil, but then we don't create the value, right? We don't invest too much as a country in new technologies, in innovation. And I think that, as we mentioned from the start, right, what we are facing is new for everyone. If we don't innovate, can also represent a very important barrier. So
maybe start creating a little bit on education as well.
Yes.
The some say that is driving innovation on the longer term as well.
yeah,
Until a few obstacles that we have here, right? You're going yourself to the COP. You're Brazilian, Karin, working for such a big Dutch company. What are your personal expectations? What would be on your bucket list to come out of this COP in Belém in November?
Yeah, I think that, well, it will be my first COP, indeed. And I will have this, let's say, responsibility of representing Arcadis that is present in all COPs, right? So my expectation is that we can showcase our history along the years. We are a 55 years old company in Brazil. and more than 130 years globally. So we have a lot of very good experiences. We are a very respected company globally and in Brazil, and with a lot of projects and actions around the country and in the Amazon as well. So this is very relevant. We, as a company, we participated in different studies that were responsible for knowing more about Amazon biodiversity, for example, right? We are developing a lot of projects with the traditional communities that we have in the forest. We are also presenting some of these studies there together with our clients, and this is also a very nice opportunity to show that there is a lot of action. The other day I received a group of people and they were claiming on mining, for example, right? And we as a company, we are developing a campaign that is the sustainable mining. And this is what we believe, because we are supporting a lot of these clients, our clients here in Brazil and globally, on really reaching their very tough targets that they have. And when we look for the Amazon region, the legal mining is what is protecting the forest, right? So I think that we have a lot of good stories, and it will be also an opportunity to show to the planet that it's the stories that sometimes they hear are not so true.
Exactly.
Right?
I love it, Peggy. I think we need to invite Arcadis one more time just to tell more stories here, because it's such a diverse pool of services and projects that it leaves, I think, the audience and us very curious to know more about what all the company does. So thank you so much for coming, Karin.
And I think it's indeed at the same time an invitation as well to have you back in the studio after the COP maybe and see how it went over there and what is the next steps. But thank you very much already, Karin, for being with us in the studio today. And thank you for all of you listening to us and watching us for this Orange Talks. The COP Connected, we are continuing because we have more guests coming up soon. So stay tuned at Dutch and see you soon. Ciao.